Hi students, today we can learn about aggregate functions. We have already learned single row functions like numeric, string, date and time functions. As we know, these functions work on single row only. Now we can move to multiple row functions or group functions, otherwise aggregate functions. First you should understand when to be use these aggregate functions. We can check with this example. In this table, ID, e-name, department and salary columns are there. Suppose I want to get the maximum salary or I want to get the minimum salary. Similarly, I want to get the average salary of the employee. So similar things when we want to perform the operation on a group of records, then there comes the use of aggregate functions. So aggregate function that perform the calculations on multiple rows of a single column and returns a single value as the output or result. That is, aggregate function perform the operation on a group of records and returns a single value result. Okay. So the aggregate functions are max, min, sum, average and count. First one is max function. It returns the maximum or highest value among the values in the given column. Syntax is max of column name. For example, find the greatest salary of employee who has ID between 1 and 3. Okay. Now we can check with the terminal. From this salary column, we want to find the highest salary of employee with ID between 1 and 3. So the first 3 values will be compared and returns the maximum value. So we can write the query as select max of salary from employee where ID between 1 and 3. So the output will be returned as 30,000. So 30,000 is the answer. Next is min function. It returns the minimum or lowest value among the values in the given column. Syntax is min of column name. For example, find the lowest salary of employee who are not from finance department. So our question is find the minimum or lowest salary of employee those who are not in the finance department. Here the query is select min of salary from employee where DEPT not equal to finance. For not equal to symbol, we can use this less than and greater than. That is, this 30,000 and 18,000 will be ignored. So the function returns the minimum value as 23,000. That is the output. Next function is sum function. It returns the sum of the values under the specified column. Syntax is sum of column name. We can check one example. Find the total salary of employee who are from sales department. Here we can write the query as select sum of salary from employee where department equal to sales. This function calculates sum of salary or total salary of sales department employees. That is 23,000 plus 25,000. It returns the output as 48,000. Okay. Next function is average function. It returns the average of the values under the specified column. Syntax average of column name. For example, find the average salary of employee. So the query is select AVG of salary from employee. So this function calculates the average value and return the output as 27,200. So the answer is 27,200. Next is count. We can use count in two ways. First one is count of column name. It returns the total number of rows in a given column. But if we use count star, it returns the total number of rows in a table. Here we can check one example. Count the number of employees in the sales department. Here we are going to count the number of employees in the sales department. So we can count on the basis of ID or on the basis of e-name or salary, anything. Here let's use the e-name. So the query is select count of e-name from employee where department equal to sales. In sales department there are 2 employees. So the output returns us 2. Okay. Now we can check another example. Count the number of employees in the table. Now we are going to count the total number of employees. So we can write the query as select count star from employee. It will return the total number of rows in the table. So the answer is 5. If you use count of column name, it returns the total number of rows in that particular column. But in case of count star, it returns the total number of rows in a table. Let's see another example. We want to count the unique values of a particular column. For example, if you want to count the unique number of stream in this table. So, in that case, we will provide distinct clause inside the count function. That is, select count of distinct from student. So, this distinct clause ignore the duplicate values. Here, signs repeated twice. So, the second occurrence is ignored by the distinct clause. So, the answer is 3. Next example, select distinct stream from student. Here the output is science, commerce and humanities. So the distinct clause ignores the duplicate values. Also one important point about the aggregate function is none of the aggregate function takes null into consideration. All null values are simply ignored by the aggregate functions. For example, select count of marks from student. Here the answer is 3. In the marks column, there is one null value, but it will not count. So, all the aggregate functions ignore the null values. We can check the points again. Aggregate functions works on number of values of a column and return a single value result. Max function returns largest value from the column. Min function returns smallest value from the column. Sum function returns sum of the values from the specified column. Average function returns average of the values under the specified column. Count function returns the total number of rows in a given column. Count star returns total number of rows in a table.